So Brandon Miller is in real conversation of being the number 2 overall pick, according to Sam Vecini and John Hollinger of The Athletic. They're saying that Brandon Miller is gaining real ground on Scoot Henderson. Scoot averaged in 19 G League games, 16.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 6.5 assists. And they're talking about the fact that Brandon Miller he's closed the gap between him and Scoot Henderson. Obviously, Victor Wembanyama is going number 1. Comment down below what your thoughts are, and let's get right into today's video. So, more NBA scouts have gotten a chance to go see, players. And college basketball is exciting. Conference tournaments, you get to see players start to come out, and you see scouts and execs. And beyond that, the G League Ignite has 3 potential first-round picks, including Scoot Henderson, potential number 2. Then you got Overtime Elite with Amen and Asar Thompson, who swept through the event and looked terrific. You got Victor Wembanyama, who's a beast. But one opinion is starting to solidify across the front offices of executives in the NBA, is that Alabama's forward, Brandon Miller, is very much in the conversation for number 2 overall behind Victor Wembanyama. This is not a media creation or something which people are trying to drum up interest at the top of the draft that had precious little intrigue thus far. It is not a foregone conclusion that Scoot Henderson will be picked at number 2. Sam Vecini has talked to a number of lead front office executives as well as high-level scouts who either think the margin between Miller and Henderson is razor thin or just have Miller ahead at this point. This is a very stark departure from what has been portrayed throughout the season, which Henderson has been the proverbial number 2 pick on every public-facing big border mock draft since the preseason up until this past month. Heck, the NBA put on an entire scouting event for Henderson's Ignite team to play Wembanyama's Metropolitans 92. And I personally still have Scoot Henderson number 2 on my own mock in big board, and so does Sam Vecini. He's an elite competitor with elite athleticism on the lines of Derrick Rose and John Morant. Terrific passing, playmaking ability with high-end shot creation. While Miller's in the same tier, Scoot Henderson, Sam Vecini says, is a combination of Anthony Edwards and Derrick Rose. But the Henderson-Miller conversation has become real over the course of the last few weeks for many who have worked in NBA front offices. And there are a few reasons. Largely, it has to do with Brandon Miller's play. Miller shown improvement over the course of the season in the exact areas in which scouts wanted to see growth. That isn't the case for Scoot Henderson. Scoot Henderson doesn't necessarily look like a top pick anymore. It's that Miller looks like a real option there too. Let me make that sure. Scoot Henderson's still a dog. It's just Brandon Miller looks like just as much as a dog. And despite being a year and a half older than Henderson, Miller's growth trajectory is on a positive plane. And yeah, we know the whole fallout, but prior to the shooting, NBA teams who were granted anonymity said that they had done the background checks and Miller had come back positively. Brandon Miller's 6'9" wing, averaging about 20 points, 8.5 rebounds, 2 assists on 40% from 3, over 7 attempts from 3. Solid defender. He's not a future defensive all-defense guy like Paul George, but he's someone who could be like a Chris Middleton defensively. And I'm just saying, you look at this situation, because the Big 12 is still the best league, but the SEC has got some dogs. And those dogs are Brandon Miller. And Scoot Henderson, according to John Hollinger, had a somewhat disappointing season with the G League Ignite. Teams are going to have a lot of questions about Miller. Obviously, we talked about the shooting and the police stuff. We're not going to get into detail with that. I'm not a police journalist and crime journalist, but Miller, like I said, 6'9", shooting the 3 ball. His PER is 28.1, and sure, despite his size, Miller isn't the type of guy that, is an explosive athlete or anything, and he's a little older, and he's like I said, 16 months older than Scoot, but he's definitely somebody I think teams are going to be interested in, and we'll see where he goes. But that's where I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. What do you guys think? And are you guys on the same page as me, or is this just my thoughts right here? I don't know. I think it's definitely an interesting situation. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm gonna peace out right here, guys. Hope you guys did like the video. Comment, like, subscribe, do all that good jazz. But I'm gonna peace out till next time, guys. Bye bye. Have a good one. Because I know I will. Till next time, guys. Peace. Oh.